takes immediate action and arrest them.
There was a horrific incident that we saw in Tirutani where 4 minor boys brutally thrashed up a younger boy. Did you have a chance to look at that visual? What do you make of this horrible?
It's very horrific. The incident is very horrific. The investigation is going on. Whoever is behind this, I think they themselves have uploaded this video. They have taken this out. And what is the reason? What is the motive? I think the investigation will find out all these things.
Nobody can take law and order into their hands. So socially we have to correct these things, but everyday statements and the social media posts by the DMK and their allies are the reasons for this, and the people who have indulged themselves in this crime is also youngsters. So we need to create a society where we should not have a hatred. That is the main reason. But politically, DMK has been ruining the state, in terms of region, religion, caste, and also the race, and also the north-south divide, everything. So this is totally, we accuse the DMK and the government.
Moving on now to our next story, a social media post by Congress leader Praveen Chakravarti over debt situation in Tamil Nadu has now triggered a mega face-off ahead of the key assembly polls in Tamil Nadu. The row escalated after DMK MP Kanimoy said that DMK turned the debt turned the state into a developed state. Congress Neta Praveen Chakravarti, however, contradicted DMK's claim and said that Tamil Nadu had the highest outstanding debt of all states. He said that in 2010, UP had more than double the debt of Tamil Nadu, and that now Tamil Nadu's interest burden is the 3rd highest, and the state's debt situation was alarming. Praveen's post, however, did not go well with the few within the Congress itself. Congress MPs from Tamil Nadu have said that it was unfair to compare Tamil Nadu with UP, and that judging the absolute debt was like judging fitness by body weight, only for vibes. The DMK, however, dismissed Praveen's post, saying that a few people with private agendas were trying to create unwanted distractions. The BJP, meanwhile, has hit out at the DMK, saying that its lies had been exposed by its own ally, and public spat of the UPA era had made a comeback.
Being from the DMK, what do you make of Tamil Nadu's finances, sir?
Tamil Nadu's finances is in the pink of its health. Whatever the allegations, this is the constant refrain made by the ADMK here, the BJP here, that Tamil Nadu government is borrowing heavily. When the BJP makes these allegations and the ADMK makes these allegations, it's laughable, it's farcical. The union government, their borrowings in 2026 would be around 200 lakh crores. What basis? Can we come to a conclusion that the Indian...
And breaking news coming in, Bengaluru bulldozer politics heats up. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister DKS doubles down against Kerala Chief Minister. DKS says Kerala CM is playing politics and is going to lose the upcoming elections. DKS has said protecting the interests of the people from health hazards is our duty to protect government property, and that is what we are doing.
CM is doing politics. His election, he is in a time of losing his election. He is trying to do politics. We doesn't want to involve in. I am requesting him, you should be aware of this. This is a local issue. We have to safeguard the interest of the health hazard. We don't want illegal people to occupy in a government property. That is why there is a lot of hue and cry in this one. We don't want to create slums in Bangalore. This is a city with a lot of this one. Like, I don't want to comment on other cities. But it is our duty to protect the government properties. We are doing it. If anyone have been affected, if they doesn't have houses, we have an opportunity, we have an provision to give them houses. Definitely we'll help all of them. Of course, we have got a representation, we have got allegations. Some of them have collected 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees to put here this one. Lot of women have said, lot of people also have communicated to me. They have given some agreement as if they are the owners. We have collected. We definitely will take action against all those
So what is the interest of Kerala and Karnataka? What is the interest of Kerala and Karnataka's Kogelusa?
We don't want any Keralites. Our Chief Minister, let him do his job. We will do our job.
Nagarjun Dwarkanath is joining me on this story. Naga, the Deputy Chief Minister, DKS, doubles down against Kerala Chief Minister, says we are doing what is necessary for us to do. What more do we know about this entire controversy and the demolitions?
The Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar has just landed from Goa and directly from the airport is gone to the demolition site, which is just close by to the airport. And now he's attacked the Kerala government and the Chief Minister, saying that the Chief Minister of Kerala should not interfere in Karnataka politics. And this is an internal issue of Karnataka. One, the illegal encroachers have been taken up on a dump yard site and they would be health hazards, is what D.K. Shivkumar is saying. This 15 acres of land belongs to the government and that's why they have been given notices and evicted. And today at 5 p.m. Chief Minister has called a high-level meeting to ensure that facilities and some remedy is provided to all these people who have been evicted from the place and now stranded. That's the meeting that CM has called. D.K. Shivkumar, before the meeting, has visited the spot.
All right, thank you very much for that, Nagarjun. But moving on now to our next story. Actor turned politician Vijay is receiving a warm welcome everywhere for his upcoming movie Jananayagan. Be it Malaysia or his home state of Tamil Nadu, the frenzy among the fans is something that cannot be ignored. However, this time, fans at the Chennai airport went out of control during his visit. And the actor turned politician tripped and fell amid the crowd as he was being mobbed by the fans. Security personnel quickly helped him up and escorted him safely to his car. This is not the first time, remember, that a celebrity has faced mobbing by fans. In just the past 2 weeks, this is the third such incident. Earlier, actors Nidhi Agarwal and Samantha Prabhu were also mobbed by the fans. And Malaysia witnesses the Thalapathy frenzy. Actor Vijay launched the audio of his latest film, Jananayagan in Malaysia on Saturday, which was attended by thousands of Thalapathy fans. Interestingly, the event also entered the Malaysian Book of Records by recording the highest number of attendees at an event in Malaysia. See this report.
If you think this was in India, then you are completely wrong. The Thalapathy craze was evident in Malaysia. Jananayagan's audio launch event, also referred to as Thalapathy Tiruvisa, entered Malaysian Book of Records for highest number of attendees. Reports suggest that over 1 lakh people gathered to get a glimpse of Vijay. Videos of Vijay making a grand entry on stage amid thundering cheers and fireworks went viral on social media. Some call Vijay the biggest crowd puller in the world. These people have arrived here to give a farewell to Thalapathy Vijay. Jananayagan, which is releasing on the 9th of January, is believed to be Vijay's last film as he wants to focus on his political career. While praising Vijay's work ethics, director Atlee added that Thalapathy is an emotion to the people.
With due respect, but Thalapathy is an emotion to us. It's not just...
Soon after this, Atlee ran towards Vijay and hugged him. Composer Anirudh Ravichandar also performed a few songs from Vijay's films and the crowd went wild. In another clip, Vijay's mother, singer Shobha Chandrasekhar, also gave a surprise performance. Alongside Vijay, Atlee and Anirudh, actor Pooja Hegde, Priya Mani, lyricist Vivek, Shobi Master and Shekhar Master also attended the event. A day ago, the moment Thalapathy Vijay landed in Kuala Lumpur, it wasn't an arrival, it was a celebration. The frenzy followed him all the way to the hotel.
Viewers, Malaysia turned into a sea of fans as Thalapathy Vijay's grand audio launch for Jananayagan became an unforgettable farewell. With nearly 1 lakh attendees, emotional moments with Atlee and viral dance performances, the event celebrated Vijay's legendary cinematic journey. Take a look at this report.
A farewell like no other. Thalapathy Vijay's final film event turned Malaysia into a sea of fans. Malaysia witnessed an unforgettable spectacle as the grand audio launch of Jananayagan unfolded before a massive crowd, marking what is being described as Thalapathy Vijay's final film-related public event. With over 90,000 fans in attendance, the evening became a powerful celebration of Vijay's cinematic journey, cultural impact, and unparalleled fan following across borders. The star-studded event brought together prominent names from the Tamil film industry, united to honor Vijay's legacy. Among the most notable attendees was filmmaker Atlee, who shares a deeply successful creative history with the actor. The duo has previously collaborated on 3 blockbuster films, Peri, Marcel and Bigil. All of which went on to become major milestones in Tamil cinema.
With the due respect, but Thalapathy is an emotion to us. It's not just
One of the most emotional moments of the evening came when Atlee, after concluding his speech, ran onto the stage and embraced Vijay, saying Vijay has always performed as if each role were his last, giving everything to every character. From IPS Vijay Kumar to Thalapathy Vetrimaran to Rayappan. That same dedication now carries into Jananayagan. Adding to the buzz, a video of Vijay's dance performance at the event quickly went viral on social media, further amplifying the emotional high and fan frenzy surrounding the launch. As the night drew to a close, the scale of the gathering and the emotion in the air made one thing clear, that Jananayagan is not just a film, but a historic moment in Tamil cinema, marking the end of an era led by one of its most beloved icons. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
And our next story raises a very important question about behavior in public. What seemed like a spontaneous concert moment between AP Dhillon and Tara Sutaria soon took an unexpected turn. As Tara joined AP on stage, Veer Paharia's visibly awkward reaction caught the internet's attention. Within minutes, the moment sparked a debate on boundaries, comfort and public gestures. Take a look at this special report by my colleague Pranjali Sethi.
When one person's moment comes at the cost of another's comfort, it stops being cute and starts being questionable. On stage, AP Dhillon's easy charm and spontaneous affection may have felt like part of the concert energy. And Tara Sutaria appeared perfectly at ease in the spotlight. But standing just inches away, boyfriend Veer Paharia's visibly awkward and uncomfortable reaction told a different story. One that the internet was quick to notice. So what really happened? Let's break it down. Recently, Veer Paharia and his girlfriend Tara Sutaria attended AP Dhillon's Mumbai concert. While several videos from the show are going viral on social media, one particular clip has grabbed everyone's attention. In the video, AP Dhillon is seen inviting Tara on stage as Veer watches them. Dressed in a gorgeous black dress, Tara joins AP Dhillon on stage. But as soon as she steps on stage, the singer hugs her and plants a kiss on her cheeks. In fact, Tara is also seen wrapping her arms around AP's shoulders. As the camera turned towards Veer Paharia, viewers speculated about his reaction, with many suggesting he appeared uncomfortable. The incident fueled online debate, while some defended the interaction as harmless, noting that gestures between friends in show business are often misinterpreted. Others maintained that the incident highlighted the scrutiny faced by public figures and their private lives when caught on camera at high-profile events. Memes flooded timelines and opinions clashed, and the trio's dynamic became the internet's latest talking point. Which brings us to the question that when one person's spotlight creates visible discomfort for another, was the moment ever really okay? With Pranjali Sethi, Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
I think there are rabid elements in Bangladesh, yes, who are making extremely scary remarks, honestly, because what will it mean also for the India-Bangladesh relationship? I don't think there have been any comments really that have come in from India where you can say that, these are fueling further the hate and things like that. In the last few days, what's happened in Bangladesh needs to be called out. It has been targeted violence.
Watching India Today.
Welcome back. Bangladesh's fledgling National Citizens Party is facing a major credibility crisis after announcing a tie-up with Islamist radical Jamaat-e-Islami Bangladesh. The party, which had projected itself as a student-led reformist force and played a role in the protests against Sheikh Hasina, is now accused of joining hands with Islamist radicals and exposing its true colors. The alliance has triggered a massive internal rift with several NCP leaders quitting. Student leaders Mehfooz Alam and Nusrat Tabassum have distanced themselves from the party, and key face Tasneem Jara had already quit earlier. Tasneem was a prominent face of the NCP and is believed to be opposed to Islamist takeover. The tie-up before February polls rips the facade of the so-called citizen revolution. And the big question here is, was this a student uprising or a regime change script with gullible students unknowingly playing a role? And our next story, Donald Trump has been making efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war, and in this regard, Trump hosted Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Trump announced that he had also held a very productive phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Without revealing any details, Trump dialed Putin before the meeting with Zelensky, and the call lasted for 2.5 hours. After the meeting in Florida, both leaders struck an optimistic tone, repeatedly suggesting that a peace deal was closer than at any previous point. Yet they also acknowledged the several issues, particularly territory security guarantees and the future of occupied infrastructure, remain unsolved. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that a full agreement on the peace plan could be reached by January 2026, but also added that Trump has made significant progress in talks on ending Russia's war in Ukraine. He agreed that their teams would meet again next week to finalize outstanding issues.
We had a terrific meeting. We discussed a lot of things. As you know, I had an excellent phone call with President Putin that lasted for over 2 hours. We discussed a lot of points. And I do think we're getting a lot closer, maybe very close. I do. I think he is. I think they both are.
How close are we to a message?
Got to make a deal. Got to get it done. Too many people dying. And I think both presidents want to make a deal. We believe that they're going to briefly pull out. We settled 8 wars, and this is the most difficult one. I thought it would be in the middle of the pack. This is the most difficult one, but we're going to get it done. We're going to have a great meeting today. This gentleman has worked very hard, and he's very brave, and his people are very brave. I'm also calling President Putin back after the meeting, and we'll continue a negotiation. Pretty complex, but not that complex.
How long do you think it'll take to get this last little bit, as you say, finished? What are we talking
So
about?
if it went really well, maybe a few weeks, and if it went poorly longer, and if it went really poorly, it's not going to happen. That would be a shame. There's that chance also. It's possible it doesn't happen. But, in a few weeks, we will know one way or the other, I think. But this is a very complex one.
You want to put odds on it? What the bad?
No, I think we'll get it done. I don't want to say when, but I think we're going to get it done. Yeah.
I mean, there was what Zelensky called was a very good meeting that happened between Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner last week. And, that followed up with this meeting before the end of the year, I should say. Again, the meeting lasted for more than 2 hours. President Trump had talked to President Putin before he could meet Zelensky. And then I think he's shown more optimism as to be able to end this war, which, again, has been his number one priority after becoming the president. He even touted the fact that he could end this war in less than 24 hours with few phone calls. So I think it was very interesting to see that this meeting happening right now. President Trump, as we all know, is in Florida at Mar-a-Lago. He's not in Washington, D.C. He's trying to spend time with his family for Christmas and New Year's, but he's still prioritizing this very important peace plan that was started by Steve Witkoff and has been now handled by both Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. The good thing is that Zelensky sounded optimistic. He believes that this could work out. The other unfortunate part is we do not know when. As President Trump himself said, there's no deadline. He wants to see this war end. He wants to bring peace, but there's no deadline. He hopes that this war could end very soon. Now, we also heard from Pranay, he was talking about how European leaders would be coming to Washington, D.C. very soon in January, and there could be more follow-up conversations. But at least, we've come a long way since the first time we saw Zelensky and President Trump meeting way back on February 18th of this year, when we saw how he was talked down by Vice President Jance and President Donald Trump. So it looks like things are going in the right direction, according to President Trump. It's confirmed like 95% agreement on important stuff. But the territorial things, the security guarantees, I think those are the big holding points. And also the fact that the Russians have to vet this plan and they have to agree to it.
And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. But up next, our special bulletin for the hearing impaired. Keep watching India Today.
You are watching India Today.
Hi, Sana here with a quick AQI update. Delhi 393, Mumbai 172, Kolkata 174, Bangalore 152, Chennai 212, Hyderabad 161.
Brutal attack on migrant worker in Tamil Nadu. Suraj, a migrant worker from Orissa, assaulted by 4 minors in Tiruvallur after an argument on a train. Following the dispute, the minors took him to a secluded area near railway station, assaulted him brutally and recorded the act on a mobile phone. The video circulated on social media. Sheer brutality in Angel Chakma's murder exposed by hospital report. Medical report reveals Angel suffered severe injuries, deep cuts on back and head, multiple abrasions, loss of power on right side, spinal cord damage and brain fissures. Suffered paralysis due to assault, eventually leading to his death. Candlelight marches held on the streets of Agartala in Tripura demanding justice for Angel Chakma.
Bison panel, one board, infinite uses.
Year is ending, but apocalypse is not. +400 AQI as Delhi welcomes 2026. Livelihoods choked by toxicity. Rekha government acts after public outcry. Two Grab 4 curbs now permanent. Will capital breathe free in 2026?
Will the capital breathe free in 2026? That's the big question. Well, it's anybody's guess at the moment. But did you try looking outside your window today, try driving out on the road? Well, you know what I'm saying. AQI in the National Capital Region, especially if you are in Noida or Greater Noida, has gone up to 900 to 1,000 over the past 24 hours. This is the way we will be welcoming 2026. But at the moment, there are certain curbs that have been put into place. There is a certain impact also that we are happy to share that the solutions roundtable that we brought to you also ended up creating. All that and much more coming up on the program, including the Supreme Court verdict on Aravalis. It's a huge win for Gen Z of India. They finally managed to get together for a cause which was the right one really this time. First up, at the moment, all the headlines. No relief for rapist Singh in the Unnao case. The Supreme Court has now stayed the Delhi High Court order. Kuldeep Singh will remain in jail and won't walk free. Top Court's also big ruling on Aravali case. Supreme Court has stayed its own order, sort of defining the Aravalis by height. Top Court has now fired multiple questions to the centre, demanding the Environment Ministry to respond. Hate season before the poll season in Tamil Nadu. A migrant worker from Orissa has been brutally attacked by 4 minors. They used sickles to repeatedly hit the migrant worker, and also who still remains in a critical condition, remember. Sheer brutality in The Angels Chakma's murder case over there has been exposed by the hospital report. A medical report has revealed that he suffered severe injuries during the assault, which caused paralysis, eventually leading to his death. Candlelight marches have been held out on the streets of Agartala in Tripura, demanding justice for him. PDK chief Vijay has been tripped, and in fact he tripped down and fell after being mobbed by fans. While he was entering the vehicle, supporters mobbed Vijay at the Chennai airport, but he safely entered his car with no injuries. As the row over bulldozing in Bengaluru continues, Karnataka Chief Minister is set to hold a key meeting today to review the demolition drive. The meeting is expected to assess the situation on ground and discuss further action following the eviction exercise. This after the evicted residents held protests against the drive. Getting up for battle for Mumbai, Ajit Pawar-led NCP has now announced that they will go solo in the upcoming BMC elections. This comes after Ajit Pawar's NCP and Sharad Pawar's NCP announced an alliance with each other for municipal polls in Pune. Bangladesh's National Citizens Party is now facing a major credibility crisis after announcing a tie-up with the Islamist radicals. The Jamaat-e-Islami Bangladesh, the alliance there has triggered a massive internal rift with several NCP leaders quitting. Donald Trump, meanwhile, hosted the Ukrainian President Zelensky at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Both leaders stuck in optimistic tone, saying a peace deal is closer than ever, but they also acknowledge that several issues over territory and security guarantee remain unresolved. And finally, China is holding military drills around Taiwan as a warning against what it calls as separatist forces. The drills are taking place days after the US announced the sale of one of its largest weapons packages to Taiwan worth $11 billion. Pollution, fog, and the dipping temperature. A deadly cocktail bringing daily life to a standstill across Delhi NCR and major parts of North India today. Visibility plunged to a near zero in the national capital, crippling essential services. At least 128 flights were cancelled, 8 diverted. Airlines issued advisories as operations struggled through thick fog. On the ground, rail services as well, rail traffic went off it. 100 Delhi-bound trains delayed, roads slowed to a crawl with highways and expressways choked as well. An orange alert has been issued. More cold days are expected ahead. In fact, in Noida, the impact was severe enough for authorities to declare a holiday for schools. But beyond the fog and cold, the real danger really remains to be that of pollution. Delhi's AQI breached 400, going up to 1,000 over the weekend in Noida at least, slipping into the severe category. And for some, the cost has become too personal. A senior executive of a 7,000 crore pharma company has quit his job abruptly, writing one line as the reason. And that was Delhi's pollution. Rajkumar Bafna, the finance head for Coombs Drugs and Pharmaceuticals, resigned in a blunt mail to the management. It said it as simply as that. Due to Delhi air pollution, I'm resigning. Please relieve me as soon as possible. A stark reminder there that when air turns toxic, even careers are forced to move. And this is, remember, the finance head of a pharma company. They know a little bit about health. They know a little bit about what medicines can or cannot do. They also understand the matter in detail. Meanwhile, sustained public pressure has finally delivered action. The Delhi government has announced that 2 of the GRAP 4 measures will now be permanent. Remember, one that kicks in and kicks out every time the AQI gets a little bit better or not? Well, two of these, which is no fuel for vehicles without a valid pollution certificate and no entry of non-BS6 vehicles into the capital from the borders. Both these rules that were applied under GRAP 4 will now stay permanent throughout the year. So let's get a quick check on this and get an understanding from our reporters on how this is actually panning out on the ground. Joining me is Shreya Chatterjee and Sushant Mehra. Shreya, let me come to you first. You know, this is a good relief. And when I say relief, I don't mean for the citizens or for the drivers in the national capital, but for those who've been demanding stricter action on pollution year-round. So what are you seeing as an impact on the ground when you're interacting with people? What about checks? What about public sentiment? Tell us both.
Well, Sonal, strictness, yes, has been ordered by the Delhi government when it comes to ensuring that these two protocols that are part of GRAP 4 essentially continues to stay even when GRAP 4 has been revoked in the national capital. There are measures that have been implemented at the borders, particularly to ensure that all the vehicles that do not comply the BS6 norms, they will not be flying in the national capital. PUCC as well is a mandation right now, should have been always the case that without pollution people can't get fuel, but clearly that alone isn't really solving the problem of the air pollution in the national capital. Yes, we can say that the government at least now appears to be more serious in trying to bring in more curbs in place, but as we talk, Sonal, the fact is true that even today the air quality continue to hover between the very poor and the severe category, and that continues to be the story at least for days to come, is what the weather reports are also suggesting so far as the conditions are to continue.
All right, so this is a busy time, remember, for traffic police as well across borders, and we really hope that apart from just the regulars that we get of drunken driving or speed driving, etc., this is also getting followed at the border, especially for cars that are driving in or driving out for that matter, for the New Year rush as well. Also with me is Sushant. Sushant joins us from one of those PUC centers that we spoke about. Sushant, what are people saying? And importantly, are the PUC centers, the ones that actually give out these certificates or put their stamp on it, are they really equipped at the moment to carry out a vigil like the one that has been called for by the government?
देखिए सोनल, मैं आपको बता दूं कि दिल्ली के अंदर अगर आपके पास पीयूसी नहीं है तो आपको फ्यूल जो है वो नहीं मिलेगा। ये इम्प्लीमेंट सरकार की तरफ से किया गया, उसको लेकर के रियलिटी चेक में आपको दिखा दूं कि किस तरीके से वो काम करता है। मेरे पीछे अगर आप देखेंगे ये पीयूसी सेंटर है और इसके ठीक बाहर आपको एक कैमरा जो है वो इंस्टॉल नजर आएगा और ये पूरा ANPR सिस्टम लगाया गया। अगर कोई भी गाड़ी जिसके पास पीयूसी सर्टिफिकेट नहीं होगा, ये कैमरा पहले उसको कैच करेगा और स्पीकर से यहाँ पर बकायदा उसकी अनाउंसमेंट होगी कि इस गाड़ी का जो नंबर है उसके पास पीयूसी सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है तो उसको फ्यूल जो है वो ना दिया जाए, और उसके बाद वो यहाँ पर अपना पीयूसी सर्टिफिकेट जो है वो बनवा सकता है, उसको पीयूसी सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, उसके बाद ही आपको पेट्रोल जो है वो मिलेगा। हालांकि सरकार का मानना है कि कई पीयूसी सेंटर्स पर इस तरीके के ANPR सिस्टम जो लगाए गए हैं वो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, उस पर भी सरकार ने सख्ती से एक्शन लिया। पिछले दिनों जिस तरीके से हमने बैक टू बैक ये पूरा कैंपेन चलाया, उस पर इंडिया टुडे आज तक की जो खबर थी उस पर सरकार ने संज्ञान लिया और उसमें तकरीबन 28 ऐसे पीयूसी सेंटर्स हैं जिनको सस्पेंड किया गया, जो कि इस तरीके के नियम को फॉलो नहीं कर रहे थे। इसके अलावा 4 पीयूसी सेंटर्स को पूरी तरीके से ब्लैकलिस्ट कर दिया गया, लेकिन ग्राफ 4 जो है वो हटा दिया गया है। CAQM की तरफ से ग्राफ 3 इम्पोज्ड है दिल्ली के अंदर, लेकिन आज जिस तरीके से लगातार जो पोल्यूशन का स्तर है वो काफी ज्यादा है और सीवियर कैटेगरी के अंदर बना हुआ है और 25 मॉनिटरिंग स्टेशन सुबह मॉर्निंग के अंदर 40 में से सीवियर कैटेगरी में थे। तो ऐसे में जो पाबंदियां लगाई गई हैं, हो सकता है कि उस पर एक बार फिर से विचार जो है वो करना पड़े और दिल्ली में एक बार फिर से जो है वो ग्राफ 4 जो है वो इम्पोज किया जाए, क्योंकि पोल्यूशन बहुत ज्यादा है, विंड स्पीड जो है वो काफी कम हो गई है, जिसके कारण पोल्यूशन का स्तर जो है वो बढ़ रहा है।
जी सुशांत, आपने ना एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात बोली। आपने कहा इस पे विचार हो सकता है कि ग्राफ 4 लगे ना लगे। दिस हैज टू बी अ वेरी peculiar thing. Because last we remember the Supreme Court had said that the minute it crosses and gets into the severe category, there should be a GRAP 4. But this time around, we are seeing a lot of vichar, vimarsh happening on whether or not GRAP 3, GRAP 4 has to happen. Let me take that question to Shreya as well. Shreya, on the ground, we've seen, I think fair to say that we've seen a sort of not a very active approach on GRAP 3, GRAP 4, almost like government understanding that it is an inconvenience, it causes loss of livelihood for a lot of people, it causes a lot of, issues for people, parents, schools are shut, others as well. At the moment, when pollution levels as we speak are still above 500, if you're in Noida or Greater Noida, anywhere, it's above 600, 700, 800, depending on where you stay, really. At the moment, what is the public response that you're gauging? Are they okay with this arrangement?
Well, the public somewhere down the line needs to be more proactive, because probably that is also missing on the ground, is why we see the government, when it comes to removing these protocols, they're immediately very quick. Because if you see one good spell, immediately the next day GRAP 4 is removed. But when it comes to the immediacy that needs to be shown, as you were talking about the Supreme Court direction, that the moment the pollution level rises, you do not see that going back to GRAP 4 again. So that is something that's been the case, because we are resilient. Probably the public is not that proactive in raising their voices when it comes to pollution. We hope they understand the severity of the long-term effect that it actually causes to our health. It's a health emergency that needs to be addressed more proactively. But as Sushant, my colleague, was pointing it out, GRAP 4 might again be brought in, because the weather conditions do not seem to be improving in the national capital, despite the kind of restrictions that the government is trying to initiate. GRAP 4 was quickly removed with one good spell, but it's not brought back, while we continue to see severe AQI situations in the national capital even now.
That's a very good point, Shreya. The urgency with which GRAP 4 or GRAP 3 is removed versus the urgency with which it is imposed, there's a massive difference, right? The way in which it is brought in, the time it is taken as well, that is a major difference. That's a good point there. Let me take another question from Sushant. Then Sushant, आपके हिसाब से क्या जितने आप पेट्रोल पंप में आप गए हैं आसपास, हमने तो इतने रियलिटी चेक भी करे अभी, आपको लगता है कि जितने भी पेट्रोल पंप हैं दिल्ली एनसीआर में, आप नोएडा, ग्रेटर नोएडा, आप जानते हैं कैसे पेट्रोल पंप होते हैं, कितने दूर दूर कॉर्नर्स में होते हैं, वहाँ पर ऐसे स्पीकर्स, ऐसे कैमरा का अरेंजमेंट हो पाया है?
देखिए, मैं आपको बता दूं सोनल, इसके लिए सरकार की तरफ से तमाम जो दिल्ली के अंदर है उसमें ये पेट्रोल पंप्स को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए नोटिस जो है वो आज से तकरीबन 4-5 महीने पहले जारी कर दिया गया था, जब दिल्ली के अंदर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ये ऑर्डर आया था कि 15 साल और 10 साल पुरानी गाड़ियों को बैन किया जाए। लेकिन उसके साथ साथ जब हमने ये पूरी खबर दिखाई कि किस तरीके से ANPR कैमराज जो है वो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, PUC सेंटर्स जो है वो फर्जीवाड़ा कर रहे हैं, उस पर ज्वाइंट जो कमिश्नर है ट्रांसपोर्ट विभाग की तरफ से, उन्होंने यूपी और हरियाणा के जो कमिश्नर है ट्रांसपोर्ट को, उनको बाकायदा एक लेटर जो है वो इशू किया है और कहा है कि इस तरीके के फर्जी सर्टिफिकेट्स जो है वो यूपी और नोएडा से और उसके अलावा गुरुग्राम से जो है हरियाणा से बनाए जा रहे हैं, उस पर रोक लगाई जाए और उन तमाम पेट्रोल पंप्स को जो है वो पूरी तरीके से सस्पेंड किया जाए, कि ताकि लोग जो है जिनके पास गाड़ी के पास पोल्यूशन नहीं है वो अनदर स्टेट से, नेबरिंग स्टेट से जो है वो पोल्यूशन करवा करके दिल्ली में एंटर कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसे में ना हो, फर्जीवाड़ा किसी तरीके से ना हो, इस पर संज्ञान लेने की जरूरत है। और ये लेटर जो है वो इशू किए गए, लेकिन दिल्ली में भी
लेटर लिखे गए हैं। सुशांत, कितना इन्फोर्समेंट लगता है आपको हो पाएगा इस पर?
ये पीछे कैमरा जो है, देखिए सरकार भी जानती है कि वो इतनी जल्दी इसको इम्पोज करना आसान नहीं होगा, इस तरीके से उनको जो ऑर्डर्स हैं वो लिखित रूप में दिए गए, लेकिन नेबरिंग स्टेट उस पर किस तरीके से काम कर रही है ये देखना होगा कि कैसे वो काम करती है। हालांकि इसके अलावा मैं आपको बता दूं कि कई सारे पेट्रोल पंप्स पर भी जो नोएडा है, पिछले दिनों हमने दिखाया था कि वहां पर भी एक्शन जो है वो लिए गए थे, फर्जी PUC सर्टिफिकेट्स को लेकर के वहां पर भी कई सारी एनफोर्समेंट टीम्स जो है उन जांच करने के लिए पहुंची थी।
जी, all right, Sushant and Shreya, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you both for joining us with all those insights. All right, and talking about pollution and those two permanent GRAP 4 measures, were a bit of a good news that we can actually share with you. India Today's relentless coverage, especially the SIT exposes that we brought out, we forced government to take action against these rogue PUC centers and polluting buses as well. And now a solution long discussed on this very program. In fact, it was discussed on Friday, where we talked about the solution for pollution. A lot of think tanks, a lot of experts in the domain came together, and we had a full 1-hour discussion on what should be done. very happy to report to all of you today that one of those suggestions has actually been picked up by Delhi government and has been implemented. Several pollution control measures advocated here on the program also, which have been adopted. One key idea that we had spoken about, which in fact the experts brought to the fore, was that there should be a year-long enforcement of GRAP measures. It was strongly put together at that round table. Take a look at what the expert had to say. But Chandrabhushan, talk to me a little bit about the GRAP measures. GRAP measures came into being 5 years ago, if I'm not wrong, when the Supreme Court got into there. It not just been about 5-6 years that we've had GRAP enforced in India, in Delhi NCR actually. Mumbai this time around saw some bits of it. They thought they should replicate that model, but there was confusion. Do you think at the levels that we are at the moment, is GRAP still a solution, even if a short-term solution?
See, first of all, you need to understand that till level 3 of GRAP is something that we should be doing year-round. I don't understand why we need to say that we need to stop burning waste only during pollution season. And that will happen in GRAP 3 or dust management. So till GRAP 3, all the activities that are listed should be done year-round. It is the responsibility of municipality. One other thing we miss all the time is to hold municipal corporations accountable. What is NDMC doing or MCD doing? We go to state government and union government, but the fact is, till GRAP 3, everything that needs to be done is to be done by local government. So I don't think GRAP 3 is a year-round activity. It should happen. GRAP 4, I have never believed that is a right approach. It's a very draconian, provision. Instead of ensuring compliance, which is a tough job because inspectors will have to be on the ground. They will have to inspect factories and buildings. They take an easy way out and say, I'm going to close everything. So GRAP 4, there is no evidence that GRAP 4 is leading to any reduction in pollution.
Even the enhanced, position of GRAP 4, it changed this year.
Absolutely.
Ordin even was removed. So a couple of measures which were in GRAP 4 went to GRAP 3. You're saying under the revised definitions, GRAP 3 should be enforced all year round?
Yes, absolutely.
Only in Delhi NCR?
I mean to say it is depending on state governments, wherever there is an air pollution crisis. First of all, Sona, let me rephrase what I'm saying. I don't think we need GRAP the way it is being done in Delhi NCR anywhere in India. The activities most of the activities that are there in GRAP should be done year-round. The draconian provisions of GRAP is not leading to any result. Last 2 days, air quality has improved not because there was GRAP 4, because the wind speed was more than 10 meters per second.
All right, so Chandrabhushan there making that point on our solutions roundtable, and now the Delhi government also going ahead with it, saying that at least 2 of those measures from GRAP will stay. Again, to remind you, no PUC, no fuel in the national capital, no matter where you come from. And second, of BS6, no entry to any cars which are below BS6 levels as well. Both of those have now been implemented year-round by the Delhi government. All right, with that, let's move on to the other top focus here on 5 Live. The public pressure seems to have worked. The Gen Z outcry has finally led to some action. What began as online outrage has now reached the country's highest courts. And today, the Supreme Court of India put the sort of controversial new definition of Aravali range on hold. This was the same definition that was relied on, a 100-meter height rule to decide what qualifies as Aravali Hills, and a rule environmentalists, remember, warned could strip legal protection for the vast stretches of one of India's oldest mountain systems. Now, what happened today? Let's give you an update there. During today's hearing, the court acknowledged that the 100-meter benchmark may not be the correct way to define a hill range like Aravali, and that parts of its earlier order were being interpreted in ways that raised serious environmental concerns. The bench also took note of fears that this definition could open ecologically sensitive areas to mining and also real estate activity. As a result, the Supreme Court has kept its earlier order in abeyance and announced that a fresh expert committee will be constituted to re-examine how the Aravalli range should be scientifically and legally defined and what level of protection is must to be continued as well. But this intervention, remember, did not happen in isolation. One of the key factors behind today's moment was the Gen Z protest that unfolded in parts of India, especially in Jaipur. A protest that spoke volumes without shouting too much. 2025, remember, in many ways has been a year of Gen Z uprisings. From Nepal to Bangladesh, young voices have challenged power, reshaped political conversations, and in India, Gen Z came together around a very different and perhaps a more lasting cause. It was not politics, it was not ideology, but it was our Mother Earth, the environment. And at the center of it all was the Aravallis. In Jaipur, young protesters gathered to question a definition that could quietly erase protection of the hills that act as a natural shield for North India. No violence took place, no disruption, just placards and clear warning that redefining hills on paper can flatten ecosystems on the ground. The protest obviously spoke 1,000 words and it was heard. Today, the rule has been paused, the order is on hold, and the debate on Aravallis is back where it belongs, grounded in science, ecology, and public interest. Take a look at what happened in Jaipur, really, and then we'll return to some of those voices to understand how did they make it happen.
Save the Aravallis, save the Greens, save the nation. The anger on the streets was loud, the message unmistakable. Public outrage erupted after a revised definition of the Aravalli range left vast stretches of these ancient hills sensitive to regulated mining. Leading the charge, Gen Z young voices fight to protect one of the world's oldest natural shields. And this time, the pressure worked. The Supreme Court has put its own order on hold, staying the centre's definition of the Aravalli hill range. The top court initiated suo motu proceedings, admitting that critical clarifications are needed. A new expert committee will be formed to re-examine the definition, replacing the earlier panel, which the court itself noted was dominated by bureaucrats. And the top court's recent ruling has been met with a positive response.
हमने ये मुद्दे उठाए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज क्या कहा है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि अब तक परिभाषा हम बदलेंगे नहीं, इस पर और विश्लेषण होगा, अध्ययन होगा, इस पर विचार होगा और हम मानते हैं कि अरावली पर्यावरण के नजरिए से एक बड़ा संवेदनशील मामला है।
अपेक्षा के अनुरूप फैसला हुआ है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सुओ मोटो पीएल फाइल की थी, समझ जाना चाहिए क्यों करी, ये नौबत क्यों आई।
डेफिनेटली आई मीन ये जुडिशियल इंटरवेंशन एक बहुत सही टाइम पे और कंसिडरिंग के 4 दिन बाद कोर्ट खुल रहे थे और इसको छुट्टियों में लिया गया है, सो इट्स ऑब्वियसली वेल मीनिंग एंड मच नीडेड.
The relief comes after fierce criticism of the centre's 100-meter rule, a definition that would have opened the doors to legal mining in nearly 90% of the Aravallis. While the government announced a ban on new mining leases, concerns refused to die down. Now, with the Supreme Court pressing pause, many see this as a victory for reason and resistance. But for how long the Aravallis remain protected? That question still hangs in the air. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, and joining me next are two of the Gen Z protesters who were out and about raising awareness and campaign on Aravallis. They join me now. Kartikeya Bharadwaj is with us. Hi, Kartikeya. Also with us is Darshil Bhatt. Kartikeya and Darshil, both, thank you so much for joining us. Kartikeya, I'll start with you. First, tell us a little bit about yourself, apart from your Gen Z identity, and tell me why was the issue of Aravallis so critical to you?
Okay, my name is Kartikeya Bharadwaj and I'm from Jaipur. I'm a student of commerce. I'm pursuing BCom from Commerce College in Jaipur itself. And this issue was very concerning for us all. Right now, India is facing many issues like taxation, and there is no equal job opportunities. And right now, people are graduating but still not getting the job. There is very much unemployment. But this issue, it was more crucial than all the issues, because all of these issues we can resolve them in near future. But once the mountains are cut, once the greenery is cut, it cannot be regenerated again, and we cannot bring back the mountains again. When we go to Delhi, we feel pain in our throat, we feel itchiness in our eyes, we can see the AQI, and we don't want such situations to arise in Rajasthan and Jaipur itself. So it was very important for us.
Oh, how interesting. You were saying Gen Z actually understood the connection between environment and health, and they actually understood the connection between Aravalis and pollution?
Yes, we do understand it, because right now Aravlis act as a natural shield. It not only gives us oxygen, not only gives us the greenery, but also it saves us from the dust storms. It also regulates the rain. It also regulates the groundwater. There are many natural calamities we will face if we lose these Aravlis.
I'm filled with hope when I'm hearing people like you, Kartike, because on this program, I constantly talk to politicians who don't seem to understand even half of what you guys are saying. So, like I'm saying, my year is ending on a good note, but that brings me to Darshil. Darshil, Gen Z in India is generally seen as this disillusioned, Instagrammable, instant gratification sort of, generation, which doesn't seem to care about much. We've seen, like I said in the opening as well, 2025 has been a year of a lot of Gen Z uprising, whether it was in Nepal, whether it was in Bangladesh, and the question constantly being asked was, ki India ke Gen Z kahan hai? Why do you think Gen Z sort of, and young people like you, not like I'm not young, I'm just saying, young people like you guys, have chosen the issue of environment to really connect on, not politics, but environment?
Yeah, firstly, thank you so much for inviting the channel. And a conception has been made by the ideal people of India that the Gen Zs only know how to comment on YouTube video, how to post on social media. But the reality is that it's the time to raise a voice. When it was the time of corruption or anything else, we can see it. It's not necessary for us to raise the voice. But when it comes to a life, like Mr. Karthik said earlier, it's the matter of life. If the Aravallis is being cut, it will definitely affect our lives. So it's a necessary step that should be taken, and the Aravali is a very, very important point in the country. It's a sensation, and Gen Z has raised the voice in our street, and we came up out of our house to raise a voice against it. It's a very necessary step.
So दर्शील, किसने ऑर्गेनाइज कराया था प्रोटेस्ट, मुझे बताइए? क्या जेनजी ग्रुप्स अलग अलग थे? कैसे आपको पता चला इसके बारे में? इतने सारे लोग कैसे आ गए स्ट्रीट्स पर?
तो जैसे हम दिल्ली में थे, तो दिल्ली में कमेंट आना स्टार्ट हो गए थे जब हम दिल्ली में थे फ्यू वीक्स अगो, तो कि अरावली को कटने की न्यूज आ रही है, बहुत सारे डीएम्स आ रहे थे, बहुत सारे मैसेजेस आ रहे थे कमेंट्स के माध्यम से। तो कार्तिक भारद्वाज ने डिसाइड किया तो इसके ऊपर एक वीडियो लॉन्च करते हैं। तो दिल्ली में इंडिया गेट के आगे वीडियो लॉन्च किया गया कि विल सून डूइंग अ प्रोटेस्ट इस संबंध में। तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने सपोर्ट दिखाया कि विल डेफिनेटली ज्वाइन यू, वी नीड अ यंगर वॉइस हु इज अ वॉइस। तो एज अ मीडियम, एज अ लीडर, मिस्टर कार्तिक भारद्वाज introduced a protest which was done on 24th December 2025, and nearly 1,000 of Gen Zs, not only from Jaipur but all over the India, like from Delhi, from MP, joined us to save the Aravali.
Okay, so leader कार्तिकेय भारद्वाज जी, आप मुझे बताएं कि कहाँ से आपने इतने सारे लोगों को बुलाया? And ये तो वैसा वाला समय है ना, it's that time of the year, right? Everybody wants to take a chill pill, everybody wants to relax a little bit, you know, and look forward to the new year, make party plans. But here you are moving the party to the streets and saying that no party till Aravalis are really arrived at, right? Help me understand, how did you manage to get this message across? क्या ये easy था या difficult था लोगों को इकट्ठा करना एक environment के issue पर?
It was quite easy for me because all the youth is really educated. They do understand what is AQI. They do understand what is pollution. They know what are the hazardous problems we are going to face if the Aravlis are being cut. So it was quite easy for me. I have a great connection with the youth of Rajasthan. So I just made some videos and tried to aware all of them that it is not important to party in this New Year, because in upcoming years you will not be able to celebrate your New Year itself. Our new generation is going to come. We all have our mothers and fathers. We all have our small sisters, small brothers. If they are going to have problems like asthma, lung cancer, TB, and these things are going to be common in near future, how will we celebrate? So to celebrate in future, we must protest today. And if we are today able to protest against it, if today we are able to save our Aravlis, we can celebrate anytime. We have so much time to
Got it.
celebrate our New Year. We can celebrate
Ji.
next year. We can celebrate the near year
Kartikeya,
next
help
to it.
me understand this. My understanding has been that some of the older generation, let's say boomers, for example, millennials are a different lot, right? Say
Okay.
boomers and above, you think they don't understand or look at the issue of environment and health the way we do? You think there is a critical sort of gap between their understanding of what is good health, what is important for good health, both of yourself and that of the planet? You think older generations just don't get it?
Actually, this statement is partially correct, I can say, because there is a big generational difference between us. They have never seen so much vehicular pollution. They don't know much about the AQI, and it was not a common definition for them. Right now, we can see it all over the Delhi. Even the older generations who are living in Delhi knows about the pollution. But in Rajasthan, it is not a very common thing. In Jaipur, the AQI has been 60 and 40, 50, like this all over the year. But right now, it is raising slowly. And now people are slowly getting aware about it. Like right now, I think AQI in Jaipur is around 250, which is very bad for our health. But there are not much safety concerns in mind of people right now. They are learning about it slowly. The Gen Zs are well aware. They are trying to make their parents well aware too. But it will take time, a little bit time. But this matter of Aravali, it took all the eyes from the normal work of household people also. Now they are also looking at it, and they are also trying to understand that this issue is really big, and we must save the Aravalis, and we must protect the nature from all the other things too. Because we have witnessed some time before only, the Dol Ka Bagh jungle, which is also called as the lungs of Jaipur, has been cut by the government. And that time also Gen Zs were protesting. We were doing peaceful protest, but the government was not hearing us. They just used to put us in jail. They used to do lathi charge. And after all of that, now the jungle has been cut. So now people are understanding that we must get into some aggressive mode and tell the government that we are not going to
Good
stay
for you
silent.
guys. Good for you guys, and kudos to your generation for having done that. But
Thank you
Darshil,
so
my
much.
last question is to you. दिल्ली का जेंजी कहाँ है भाई? जयपुर में 200 पर लोग बाहर आ गए हैं सड़कों पर. दिल्ली में तो 1000 हो गया है. Are you guys in touch? Like, is this a regional thing, or should I say just the Delhi Janta is very laid back any which way? Darshil, you want to answer that?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. It's not like that. The Gen Zs or the people of Delhi are not aware. They are aware enough, but they don't have a people who can raise their voice, who can do protests on their behalf. So it's the right time for the elites to come out of their houses and raise voice against it.
Right. All right,
Actually,
let's see. Yeah, Kartikeya, quickly.
Actually, the youth is a little bit scared. And there is a message from my side also to the youth that even if they put us in jail, even if they do lathi charge on us, or even if they kill us, we don't care. Because in the upcoming future, seeing these situations in Delhi, we are going to die itself. If we live there, we are in a gas chamber. We will die of some disease. So it is better to die on the streets fighting for our life, for the future generations. That is what I think.
Well, we really hope it doesn't come down to that. We really hope that our leaders are able to hear your voices, because we know when the younger generation unites for a cause, things happen. Parties and political powers get overturned, systems change, court hearings get overruled as well. So we are really banking on this generation who will actually be the one living the most outcome of these bad rules to actually come out and ensure that their voice is heard. For the moment, Karthikeyan and Darshil, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck for everything that you guys do next. All right. On that note, we're going to slip into... All right. On that note, we're going to slip into a very quick break. Coming up on the other side, we continue to look at the weather patterns. Everybody is making New Year plans, but how exactly are they looking like from Delhi all the way to Sydney? Come right back for that.
For us, the biggest trouble with Bangladesh today is that, yes, they are radical Islamist forces who are now controlling the country. How is India going to manage and navigate this relationship, given the fact that the West is also turning a blind eye, has become a problem for us?
Okay. Welcome back. As the world counts down to 2026, the weather story begins in India, where sharp contrasts dominate with cooler than usual conditions and also hazardous air quality in the north and east, while western cities stay near seasonal norms as well, and south remains warm, humid and slightly unsettled. Now, this divide mirrors a global pattern, with New York entering a harsh winter after early snow, the North Pole logged in severe Arctic cold, and Europe experiencing rain-heavy but mild conditions. Tokyo, meanwhile, stayed cool, dry. Sydney there was, welcoming the new year in summer warmth. Highlighting all of this is our next report, where we take you through what's happening with the weather patterns this new year in India and beyond. My colleague Shreya is with us with the latest. Shreya.
Yes, Sonal, we're just days away from entering into a new chapter 2026. But let's also take a look at what the weather looks like across the world. And of course, we'll begin with our focus on India. What does it look like? Because yes, when we speak of weather conditions and climate change, it is a real crisis that the world is grappling with, because weather patterns have been changing over the past few years, which weather experts have also been flagging from not just in India, but also across the world. So I'll take you through certain places that we've mapped out as to how it will be in the upcoming days as we are entering into New Year. We'll start with India first. Let me quickly take you through the cities. First up, we'll take you to Delhi NCR. So when we speak of Delhi NCR, of course, it's no new news for anybody that the smog that we've been grappling with in the national capital itself, it's been zero visibility conditions for the past few days now that we've been seeing, with the weather patterns going somewhere between 9 to 22 degrees Celsius. That's where the temperature currently is averaging. Of course, it has been colder. The average already that's been recorded for the national capital right now has been colder than the usual last few years. But right now, this is the picture every morning and late night, if we are to speak of how Delhi NCR will look when we enter into the new year as well. Now, we'll move to another city. Let's quickly take a look at what the situation is in Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, Jammu and Kashmir, whenever we speak of, let's tell you, this time the snowfall has already begun compared to the last few years where the snowfall had set in a little later. Of course, there's sub-zero night temperatures, average low around -2 degrees Celsius. Beautiful snow-covered regions already that we are getting to witness this winters, and New Year's also, that's the same situation. But if we speak of the AQI here, it's around 150, so that's around a moderate. But yes, Delhi again, when we spoke about the smog situation, it has been nearing hazardous levels quite often at this given point as we enter into a new year, and that's something we are also looking at. Next up, we'll take you to another part of the country, that is the western part. This time, viewers, let us tell you, Mumbai has also been flagging AQI issues. So I will begin with that because you can see the cloudy atmosphere that's been blanketing this very city. The AQI has been between 200 to 250. That's also quite concerning for this region. Temperature again is somewhere 19 to 29 degrees Celsius right now is what we are learning of, and that's what it will be for the next couple of days as well as we enter into the new year. Humidity levels recorded here is currently high. Another neighboring city, if I speak of, in another state, that in the western region itself, that would be Ahmedabad. Let's take you to Ahmedabad next in Gujarat. But before that, yes, from west to east, let me quickly take you to my hometown, Kolkata, at this given point, because I'm coming back from there, and the city right now currently is recording quite hazardous air quality. Let us tell you, this is in fact the first winter, one would say, where we've seen the air quality in such poor condition. In fact, if I'm to speak of the air quality, 351 to 558 is the AQI range on multiple days, and that is why it's quite a cause of concern at this given point. Temperatures, yes, it has already begun being quite cold, so it's somewhere between 16 to 27 degrees. That's the average we are looking at in this very city. But yes, going back down south now to Chennai, this is again a particular city which records quite humid and high temperatures, summerish temperatures at this given point, because yes, winters here isn't really the winter we speak of. So if we speak of Chennai, 27 to 30 degrees Celsius is somewhere around the average if we are to talk about the temperatures. So near normal temperatures, but yes, unseasonal showers have been seen, which is why we see the waterlogging that's been quite common, and that's something we see during winters in Chennai as well. Flooding has been an issue that this region has been grappling with over the years. Next up, we have Bengaluru for you here as well. Bengaluru as well, the temperatures, if we are to look at, it's been smoggy, but the winter temperatures have already set in. So yes, mornings look quite like this if we are to speak of the kind of setting in winters. Yes, we already see a bit of that fog setting it, but otherwise the temperatures do not dip too low in the city of Bengaluru. It's been a mild start to the winter, but yes, winter has set in to this very Silicon Valley as well as we speak. Now, we've covered most of the regions in India, Sonal, at this point. So let's quickly now take a bigger picture into focus now, which is the world map at this point. Let me begin with New York in US. Now, New York, we've seen a harsh early start to the winter with a snowstorm, in fact, marring this region. These are the visuals where planes have also gotten stranded right now because of the kind of snowstorm we are seeing. In fact, in terms of temperature, if I'm to speak of, it's around 4 degrees Fahrenheit and it's below seasonal levels. So it's a harsh, rocky start to the winter. But yes, people nonetheless were already warned of this snowstorm that was to hit this region. So this is the kind of situation we see here at this point. Taking you to Santa's hometown now and near to the Arctic region, that is our next focus being Alaska. Of course, we see how The snow layer, the snow covers most of the land there. Average temperature is at minus 13 degrees Celsius is what we know. It's an extremely cold December as we speak, and it's heavy snow that we've already witnessed for 20 days now. Again, New Year prediction, if I'm to tell you, there will be heavy snow in this very region. So Santa's Town will see heavy snow at this point. Also, just a quick update for New York. There might be some respite because in moving into the new year, we may see sunny conditions in New York as we speak. Now, next up, we will take you to Europe, starting with London. So what will the particular city have for you in London as we inch closer to the new year? We are seeing heavy rainfall that has been, in fact, recorded in this very region for the last around 20 days, if we are to speak of it. Rainfall has been averaging 72 millimeters. And the New Year prediction, however, is on a happy note again for all those people out there. It might be sunny is what we are learning. But yes, it's off to quite a wet spell of a start in London if we speak of the Christmas to New Year week. Next up, Madrid is another particular place, Spain rather, is another particular place where we've been seeing flooding as well because rainfall has been so high. So in fact, if we speak exactly of the temperature there, it's around 10 degrees Celsius, but the rains have been consistent here for almost 14 days now and quite heavy rains. So there's a partly cloudy prediction that is coming in for Spain at this point is what we are learning of. Again, relief measures are on. Europe, if we are to speak of this year, the weather conditions have been quite extreme, and that's something that experts have warned of. The El Nino and the La Nina effects that experts have been speaking of time and again has been hitting Europe quite a bit. Next up, we'll quickly take a look to the city of love, that is Paris in France. What exactly is the situation like there? Let me quickly take you across there now. So in Paris, France, we will be seeing highs of 5 degrees Celsius and lows of 0 degrees Celsius with the rainfall averaging around 87 millimeters is what we are learning. December, currently from what it looks like, will be warmer than the historical average. However, persistent rain will also be seen in this very region if we are to speak of. New Year prediction, partly cloudy again is what we are learning at this given point, but it may also be sunny. That is also coming up. Tokyo is one region, let me tell you, and this we are next taking you to again Asia, back to Asia. That place, there is not much of a change we see compared to the past few years. It's again, if you have to speak of the temperatures there, minimal rainfall, cool and dry weather conditions, and New Year prediction would be clear skies. So that's a rather happy note for all the people and those who have winter plans in Tokyo at this given point. Chilly nights, however, are expected here. Weather is in line with what the season's norms usually predict. Last but not the least, I'll take you down south to Australia and Sydney specifically if we are to speak of. Daytime highs above 25 degrees Celsius, early summer conditions. We see a summer Christmas being celebrated in Australia, and high humidity, scattered showers is what we are learning of. Highs would be between 24 to 26 degrees Celsius, but then the warm contrast is to northern hemisphere. That's what we see usually in Australia. But again, it's a rather happy note for all those who have trips planned to Australia for these very few days. So it's a warmer note that we are ending this very global weather snapshot on. Sonal, back to you. This is what the year end looks like entering into 2026, speaking of the weather.
All right, so if we had to make a pick, then maybe Paris and Tokyo, that's your pick. But if your flight will take off, that is, because the visibility here in the capital, at least at most of North India, is very, very low. Thanks so much, Shreya, for joining us with the very latest. But let's end on more holiday chatter. As we approach 2026, the prominent destination across India is seeing a huge influx of tourists. No surprises there. But this time, what's different is from Srinagar to Manali to Goa, people are running to these cities to celebrate New Year's. But a lot of these places have put measures in place. In fact, a lot of religious tourism also happens this time of the year. But this time around, all these places have said, please do not come. We cannot take the influx anymore. Take a look at this report. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
India is set to ring in 2026 with celebration and cheer. From the snow-clad peaks of the north to the sun-kissed coast and plateaus of the south, tourists are pouring into popular winter destinations in large numbers. In Gulmarg, fresh snowfall has transformed the valley into a winter wonderland, drawing tourists who are eager to soak in the magic of snow and scenic beauty.
Valley has not seen, it has not been a great 2025 for Kashmir tourism for obvious reasons, incidents that happened and shattered the tourism season. So the last hope of the tourism industry was snowfall. It has snowed considerably. As you could see, there's a wide blanket of snow everywhere, giving it an absolutely mesmerizing look.
Is buzzing with festive energy as thousands of tourists arrive to celebrate the new year. With packed beaches and vibrant nightlife, authorities are on high alert, urging visitors to party responsibly.
हम यहाँ पे मतलब पिकनिक के लिए आए थे, लेकिन बहुत जगह हम घूमे हैं, लेकिन यहाँ का सबसे बड़ा और फेमस बीच है पुष्कर बीच। मतलब हमने अभी तक टीवी में देखा था, लेकिन अभी लाइव देखा है। इतनी स्मूथ सैंड है कि हम बता नहीं सकते।
In the east, the Darjeeling Hills are offering postcard perfect views. Mountain lovers and foreign tourists are enjoying the crisp weather and breathtaking glimpses of the majestic Kanchenjunga. In Rajasthan, Udaipur is witnessing a festive rush as visitors flock to the colourful Shilpgram festival in Hawala village. With nearly 99% of hotels, homestays and resorts already booked, the city is gearing up for a grand New Year's Eve. Tourist destinations are packed and celebrations are in full swing. The law enforcement agencies are on alert to ensure safe New Year celebrations. Bureau Report, India Today.
Hi, Sana here with a quick AQI update. Delhi 406, Mumbai 164, Kolkata 177, Bangalore 145, Chennai 172, Hyderabad 156.
Co-powered by India First Life, promoted by Bank of Baroda. Co-powered by Bison Panel, one board, infinite uses.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. We've got lots lined up for you over the next 1 hour. And we'll begin by giving you a quick glimpse of what to expect. We're going to be focusing first on the horrifying story that's come in from Tamil Nadu of another migrant being attacked. And the footage is horrifying by itself. Nothing can justify this kind of hate. 4 minors involved in this crime are now behind bars, but they're seen hacking this man, relentlessly shooting it and then releasing it as a reel. We're going to be getting you details of this crime, of who these monsters were and why they committed such a gruesome act. Also coming up on the show, while we speak of the Vijay phenomenon, we've seen that play out over the weekend with his mega audio launch that took place in Malaysia. Interestingly, another big development was that Namal Rajpaksa spoke out, giving a thumbs up to Vijay. And it's got everyone wondering what's with this endorsement from Rajpaksa for TVK, for Vijay. He's even put the hashtag Jananayagan, which is Vijay's last film. We'll break down all of those details, those 2 big stories and much more coming your way. Let's begin with the top 10 headlines. No relief for rapist Sengar in the Unnao case. The Supreme Court has stayed the Delhi High Court order. Kuldeep Sengar will remain in jail, will not walk free. Top Court's big ruling on Aravali case. Supreme Court has stayed its own order defining the Aravalis by height. The top court has fired multiple questions to the centre, demanding the Environment Ministry to respond. Shock and anger continues to mount over the fatal assault of 24-year-old Angel Chakma from Tripura. Uttarakhand Chief Minister speaks to the family of the victim. Rahul Gandhi slams this, calling it a hate crime. Hate season before poll season in Tamil Nadu. A migrant worker from Odisha has been brutally attacked by 4 minors. They used sickles to repeatedly hit him. He is now in a critical condition. After biggest fugitives taunt with Vijay Mallya, Lalit Modi has now apologized to the Indian government. He said the post was never meant to be taken in the way that it was portrayed. We wonder which other way it could have been taken. TVK chief Vijay was mobbed when he reached Chennai after the audio launch in Malaysia, and upon being mobbed, fell down. While he was entering his vehicle, supporters mobbed Vijay. He safely entered his car, reportedly has no injuries. Sri Lankan MP Namal Rajapaksa has wished Talapati Vijay success in the new journey ahead, saying his energy and presence on the silver screen will be missed. Gearing up for the battle for Mumbai, Ajit Pawar-led NCP has announced that they will go solo in the upcoming BMC elections. This comes after Ajit Pawar's NCP and Sharad Pawar's NCP announced an alliance with each other for the municipal polls in Pune. Bangladesh Students' Party joins Islamist. Fledgling NCP joins hands with Jamaat, posed as reformist but ties up with radicals. Donald Trump hosts Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Both leaders struck an optimistic tone, saying a peace deal is closer than ever. They did, however, acknowledge several issues over territory and security guarantees. In a horrifying hate attack, a migrant was targeted again, this time in Tamil Nadu. A man from Odisha was attacked with sickles by 4 men. They're legally minors, but if they're capable of murder, of committing this kind of a crime, I'm sorry, but they're not minors and cannot be treated legally as minors either. The video is quite simply horrifying. We're not screening the full video as it is because it's extremely distressing. The victim, a 34-year-old, is now fighting for his life. But let me tell you why this crime happened. These sickening men with the weapons were in the same coach as the victim and were using the sickles to shoot reels. The victim, Suraj, who was in the same coach, objected, because they were placing it against his neck to shoot a video. So obviously he'd object. But when he did, they got offended. So what did they do? They dragged him out of the train, shot a video of them, then attacking him. That's the video there. And they released it as a reel. This is where they're literally cracking his skull open. But they edited it. They actually put some Tamil background music. And one of these monsters then shows a victory sign after attacking him. The 4 boys, the 4 men in the video have been arrested. Turns out they were drunk. The government has been swift in identifying these murderers and putting them behind bars. But imagine this. A man who objected to a bunch of youngsters threatening him with a sickle is attacked in this sickening manner. And I have to ask, how is it that these boys have no fear of the law? Has the hate against migrant workers become so ingrained, so normalized, that they think this kind of an attack is okay? And have we as a society normalized this regionalism, this discrimination so much that it's now leading to these kind of crimes?
Attacked with a machete. Stabbed with a knife. Youth verbally abuse a migrant worker who's seen begging for his life. These shocking images are from Tiruvallur in Tamil Nadu. A migrant worker from Odisha identified as Suraj was targeted by a group of youth, abused and mercilessly hit. Suraj was taken to a secluded spot by their assailants, attacked with sickles, machetes and left to bleed. One of the attackers also flashed a victory sign after the assault. Suraj was first targeted while travelling on a train. The accused minors allegedly threatened him with machetes during the journey, even as they recorded a video. What began as intimidation soon escalated into a violent assault. Suraj sustained severe injuries in the attack and is currently undergoing treatment at hospital. His condition is said to be critical. The police have now taken cognizance of the assault on migrant worker and begun a probe. The ruling DMK has vowed strictest action against the accused. All 4 minor accused have been detained and sent to a juvenile home in Chengalpattu.
It's very horrific. The incident is very horrific. The investigation is going on. Whoever is behind this, I think they themselves have uploaded this video. They have taken this out. And what is the reason? What is the motive? I think the investigation will find out all these things.
The Congress accused the DMK government of failing to maintain law and order in the state and called for strict policing. The BJP also hit out at the Stalin government over law and order in the state.
DMK has been ruining the state, in terms of region, religion, caste, and also the race, and also the north-south divide, everything. So this is totally, we accuse the DMK and the government.
This incident that's coming in from Tamil Nadu's territory is utterly shocking because the miners have confessed to have been intoxicated when this incident happened. Certainly has raised a lot of questions about drugs being rampant in the state of Tamil Nadu and little measure being taken up by the state government. With camera person Irfan, Anaga Keshav reporting for India Today from Chennai.
And there's endless politics also over the migrant workers' attack. Now, EPS has lashed out at the DMK over this. You've got Edappadi Palaniswamy saying this is utterly shameful and that those who, in fact, the hands that should be holding school books are now wielding machetes. That's the statement that's come in from the AIA DMK as they've called out this particular incident and highlighted the fact that these are minors who are involved in this particular crime. Now, EPS, in fact, is blaming the DMK, saying that this is a result of lawlessness in the state. As we get you all of, in fact, those reactions, at this point, we can tell you that EPS has also reacted, saying that those who should be holding school books are now wielding machetes. EPS has therefore put the blame on the DMK government, saying Tamil Nadu has been pushed into such a barbaric state. And so these are the reactions that are coming in. Remember that the 4 accused in this particular case, they've been taken into custody. The police have also confirmed that they were in an inebriated condition. But politics playing out as expected, considering we're months away from an election. Anaga Keshav is joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Anaga, political reactions trickling in. What is the DMK government really saying about what transpired?
In fact, most of the DMK ministers and leaders are at a Magilar event, a women-related event that's happening. It's a party event that's happening near Tripura. So all of them have gone to that. But what the DMK is of the view is that they are saying that action will be taken against the accused is what the DMK is saying. And, on the same lines, 3 accused have been sent into juvenile shelter home and 1 has been released. All 4 accused are minors. All of them are 17-year-olds. The victim is about 34-year-old. His name is Suraj. He hails from Orissa. He was here for work, we believe. What happened on the train was that he resisted posing for the reel, where the concept was he would be assaulted by these 4 youngsters. But when he resisted, all the 4 accused, they took him to a nearby secluded area which is very close to Tirutani's railway quarters and then brutally thrashed him up. It's unbearable to even watch these videos. In fact, the accused have confessed in front of the police that they were intoxicated when the assault happened. Very, very shocking. All 3 of them have been sent to juvenile shelter home and 1 accused has been released.
All right, thanks Anaga for those details. Let's move on now. As Tamil Nadu gears up for the 2026 elections, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's government is facing questions over the state's finances and from within. You've got a Congress leader, Praveen Chakravarti, who's gone to social media and said that Tamil Nadu has the highest outstanding debt of all states. A claim that's been countered now by the DMK, a claim that's been countered by many of his own colleagues in the Tamil Nadu Congress.
As Tamil Nadu gears up for the 2026 assembly polls, the M.K. Stalin government is facing questions over state finances. That too from its allies. Congress leader Praveen Chakravarti has triggered a major debate on state finances by claiming that Tamil Nadu has the highest debt among all states. He said that in 2010, Uttar Pradesh had more than double the debt of Tamil Nadu. But now Tamil Nadu's interest burden is the 3rd highest in the country. Praveen Chakravarti's post did not go down well with Tamil Nadu Congress leaders. Party MPs said that it was unfair to compare Tamil Nadu with Uttar Pradesh and argued that judging Tamil Nadu only by its absolute debt was like judging fitness solely by body weight. DMK also took a swipe at Praveen's post, calling the criticism an unwanted distraction.
When the BJP makes these allegations and the ADMK makes these allegations, it's laughable, it's farcical. The most important aspect is how we have been sidelined, how we have been given an partial treatment by the union government.
The BJP hit out, claiming that Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's lies stand exposed.
There is absolutely no doubt that a growing state will borrow more. That is not the problem. You may say GDP is more, that, this, everything. But what have you invested? And it is going to affect the Tamil Nadu and the next generation a long way.
The political sparring is expected to continue as the state heads towards the assembly elections. But criticism from its own ally has come as an embarrassment for the DMK. With Anaga Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, after Congress's Praveen Chakravarti called out the Tamil Nadu government, the DMK government, over rising debt, you've now got the Tamil Nadu Congress officially distancing themselves from the remark. The Tamil Nadu Congress chief has spoken out, saying that Praveen Chakravarti doesn't speak for the party and that there are certain forces working for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, which is a clear taunt at his own colleague, at Praveen Chakravarti. But the question that will be asked is what stops the Congress then from cracking the whip against the leader?
காங்கிரஸ் பேரியக்கத்தை பொறுத்தவரை இப்பொழுது மட்டுமல்ல, கடந்த கால வரலாறு 140 ஆண்டுகளை கடந்த காங்கிரஸ் பேரியக்கம் ஒருபோதும் கொல்லைப்புற வழியாகவோ பின்புற வழியாகவோ பேச்சுவார்த்தை நடத்தாது. இது தனிநபருடைய வளர்ச்சிக்காகவும் தனிநபருடைய விளம்பரத்திற்காகவும் இந்த முயற்சியை முன்னெடுக்கிறார்கள். இதற்கும் காங்கிரஸ் பேரியக்கத்திற்கும் துளி அளவும் சம்பந்தம் இல்லை. எப்பொழுதுமே எங்களுடைய அகில இந்திய தலைமை தான் கூட்டணியை பற்றி முடிவு செய்யும். பல முறை சொல்லிட்டோம். இதை ஒரு தனிநபராக இருந்துட்டு தலைவர் ராகுல் காந்தி பெயரை ஏதாவது கெடுக்கலாமா, காங்கிரஸ் பேரியக்கத்தின் பெயரை ஏதாவது சீர்குலைக்கலாமா என்ற முயற்சிக்கின்றவர்களுக்கு ஒருபோதும் இது கை கொடுக்காது. அது பகல் கனவாக முடியும். என்னை பொறுத்தவரை காங்கிரஸ் பேரியக்கம் தெளிவாக இருக்கிறது. இந்தியா கூட்டணியோட கூட்டணி பலமாக இருக்கிறது, எஃகு கோட்டை போல் இருக்கிறது. இதை யாரும் பிரிக்க முடியாது. அப்படின்னா என்ன கனவு? பாஜகவை தமிழ்நாட்டில் காலூன்ற அனுமதிக்கும் சில சக்திகள் மறைமுகமாக வேலை செய்கின்றன. அதை ஒருபோதும் அனுமதிக்க மாட்டோம். அது எங்க கட்சியில் இருந்தாலும் சரி, வேற கட்சியில் இருந்தாலும் சரி.
Okay, so let's look at the actual debt numbers in Tamil Nadu away from the political tussle. What's the actual reality? Here are those numbers. Our data intelligence unit has found that in the last 10 years, from 2016 to 2025, the debt has gone up from 2,28,516 crore to 9.55 crore. Massive jump there. What about the interest burden? That's tripled from 17,391 crore to 62,456 crore. Again, from financial year 2015-2016 to 2024-25. So interest burden has tripled, liabilities have quadrupled in the last 10 years. I will highlight, however, that a state's debt can be an indicator, yes, of its economic parameters, but most definitely is not a reliable indicator on its own. There are several other parameters to look into, but since everyone's been talking about debt, we thought we'd put those numbers out for you. All right, let's move on and talk about Vijay. It's been all of the buzz this weekend with his successful visit to Malaysia for his audio release. But there's another aspect that's drawing widespread attention, and that is Sri Lankan MP Namal Rajapaksa extending his wishes to Vijay came as a complete surprise, and many raised eyebrows over what this actually means. Remember, Vijay's final film, Jananayagan, is set to release soon, and the message from an international political figure, where he's essentially endorsing Vijay's film, has sparked intense discussion among fans and on social media. Sri Lanka, of course, has traditionally been an extremely sensitive political subject in Tamil Nadu, and several Tamil Nadu leaders have repeatedly questioned Sri Lanka on issues ranging from fishermen's rights to territorial concerns, LTT being one of those. And this praise comes just when, we're a few months away from Tamil Nadu elections. And so there will be questions about whether this also means a setback for Vijay. I want you to listen in to exactly what the TVK chief had actually said on the Sri Lankan government on Kachativu a few months ago.
உங்ககிட்ட சில கேள்விகள் கேட்கணும் மிஸ்டர் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் அவர்களே. நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டு மீனவர்கள் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 800 பேருக்கு மேல இலங்கை கடற்படையால தாக்கி அழிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறாங்க. அதை கண்டிக்கிறதுக்காக உங்களை பெருசா எதுவும் செய்ய சொல்லல, சின்னதா ஒண்ணே மட்டும் செஞ்சு கொடுங்க. இனிமேலாச்சும் எங்களுடைய மீனவர்கள் பாதுகாப்பா இருக்கிறதுக்காக இந்த கச்சத்தீவை இலங்கை கிட்ட இருந்து மீட்டு கொடுத்துருங்க, அது போதும்.
Okay, let me open this up to kind of understand what this actually means. Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, is with us on this broadcast. We have Dr. Sandeep Shastri, political analyst, and Ramakrishnan Rajagopal, who is a BJP leader, but joining us this evening in the capacity of a retired IAS, former Home Secretary in Jayalalitha's government from 2011 to 2013. Good evening. Vanakkam, gentlemen. Thank you all very much for your time. Mr. Rajagopal, you're the expert in the room, so I'd like to begin with you on whether we've ever seen anything like this, this kind of an endorsement for a politician in Tamil Nadu from a Lankan politician.
Well, maybe it's the first time. It was always there for MGR, but that was at a different time when we were actually supporting the Tamils in Sri Lanka. But now I think any praise from the Sri Lankan side for Vijay is going to be a liability for Vijay, because the Tamils are definitely agonized about the way the atrocities were committed on the Sri Lankan Tamils in 2009, and I don't think this is going to help Vijay at all. Jayalalitha took a very clear stand against the Sri Lankan government's actions